What's happening, everybody? It's Thabile TTO back and taking over on a brand new explosive episode of The Purple Couch. Welcome to the show. On this episode, we celebrate Pride Month. Not only that, but we also are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Don't forget to connect with us across all our social media platforms. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is at LoveLifeNGO, hashtag The Purple Couch. In line with celebrating Pride Month, we are celebrating the LGBTQIA community in all its glory and beautiful colors. A big shout out to the Department of Health and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture for making it all possible. Enough with the chit chat. Let's get into this very colorful, explosive episode of The Purple Couch. Welcome to the show. And we're back and still taking over right here on the Purple Couch, where we're celebrating Pride Month and, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'll have across every social media platform. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is at LoveLifeNGO, hashtag The Purple Couch. It's time for us to get into Spot the Trend. This is where we reflect on some of the biggest trending topics of the month. Our first Spot the Trend is one that is very sad. We, as an industry, have lost one person who was just overall a consistent and a light in our industry. Radio and television producer, actor and writer, Lumko Johnson. I think when the news was announced, it sent shockwaves across social media. You know, friends and family just were left at a loss, you know. My heart goes out to the people that loved him, the people that supported him, and of course the people that engaged with him through the many streams of the industry that he connected with us through. We're going to take a quick, short moment of silence just to remember and reflect on the life that was Lumko Johnson. May his soul continue to rest in peace. As we continue with the Purple Couch, it's time for us to get into our second Spot the Trend. We are discussing the effectiveness of cancel culture in the time that we live in. It's 2022 and social media is becoming a tool that sees young people, old people, everybody expressing themselves. And I want to find out, where do we draw the line? You know, when is it freedom of speech and when does it now become offensive, and where we now need to cancel someone? We've seen earlier in the month people like Andrew Tate and recently Kanye West being cancelled for the comments that they make about women, about certain racial groups, and of course religious groups. And I want to find out from you, do you think cancel culture is effective in 2022? And can this form help us in making people be accountable for their actions and the things that they say online? Tweet me. We'll have across every social media platform. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is at LoveLifeNGO, hashtag The Purple Couch. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, more Purple Couch. And we're back and still taking over right here on the Purple Couch, where we're celebrating Pride Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's time for us to get into our exclusive interview. And I'm joined in studio by an immaculate artist. He goes by the name of Taellezi. A very warm welcome to the Purple Couch.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah,
how are you doing today?
I'm 100.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, but then yeah, I'm happy I'm here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, you are an artist, you're a rapper, you make music. Where would you say your love for music started?
Probably high school.
Yeah.
Not even, I'll be lying if I say high school. Because I remember around grade 4, I was trying to write out Drake's lyrics.
Okay.
He had that You the Best song coming out. So I started like writing whatever I thought was the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then that's how I became a songwriter. Because being an artist, it's not only like, yeah, like how you asked me, am I just a rapper or an artist? Nah, it's not like that. I'm a rapper, songwriter, but for you to be a rapper, you need to be a poet.
Yeah.
You understand what these things like?
They're connected,
yeah, but then you must come from somewhere and you must understand the fundamentals. So I'm a complete artist. That's it. And around primary, that's when we started making music, but not recording, just writing.
And now, where are you from, and how would you say that place has inspired the work that you do now?
Sure.
And do you write about that place in your music?
born of a Christian family. Everyone except my dad, the late, yeah. But then everyone's like pastor. My grandfather is a bishop. There was no way I was gonna end up here. But then I lost my parents, and then I had to move to Alexandra from Vryheid in Natal. That's in northern Natal. And then me getting here, it was like different. Everything is different because you're from, I can say village or a small town.
Yeah.
And then when I got here, played sports. I did everything just to get out there and make friends.
Yeah.
With music, negatively and positively, yes. But then what surrounds me, if I'm from Alex, I mean, like everyone knows, everyone can shame Alex, but then the struggle and everything we go through as people from Alex, that's the beauty. I embrace it with the music. Because I chill with everyone. I don't even care what you do or what your profession is. I chill with you if you're a real homie and genuine. That's it.
And do you write about, that place in your music and how, if it does inspire your music in any way?
Yeah. Probably all the songs that I'm dropping now after the label and stuff, because I have more freedom. I choose what to talk about. It's nice and easier to write about love. But then when I talk about like real life incidents, I need to be like accurate, pinpoint. Yeah.
And on that note, of being accurate, we're living in such a fast-paced world where so many things are happening to young people so quickly.
Yeah.
I want to bring up the very important conversation of mental health and how important it is. Would you say you use, your music as an outlet to maybe vent, or even try and maybe unpack some situations that are going on in your life and in your reality?
Individually?
Yeah.
Individually as a human, it's crazy because I make music for masses.
Yeah.
But then the state of mind that I'd be writing that in, I cannot explain.
Yeah.
And how you hear it and what it means to you. That's a different story. I might be saying something from what I'm feeling, but then it says something else to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's therapy or what, but then music is just something else. For me, I don't know for everyone, like in the world, music speaks to people.
Yeah.
And as an artist, if you like treasure your craft, I mean, like, yeah, you'll go everywhere.
Who are some of the people that you grew up listening to that have, ultimately inspired your craft and the music that you make now?
Yeah, how much is that? Those will sound girly and I'm from the streets.
Yeah.
Yo, my sister used to play like Destiny's Child, like, every weekend. When it's cleaning, like springtime.
Yeah.
Spring cleaning, me. Hey, Destiny's Child would be there. So I'd take the melodies, like, say my name. Those are nice songs.
Yeah.
You cannot like ignore such songs. Pop, I listen to a lot of pop. I listen to hip hop, obviously. But then my melody is me now. What's more, I sound like an R&B artist more than a rapper.
All right.
Yeah, kinda.
And when you got here, we were chatting a little bit, and you mentioned something about, record labels and you currently being in a situation. Do you mind maybe touching and unpacking on that and maybe how your story can, inspire any upcoming artist that is on the come up right now?
Yeah, this is more, my story is like a lesson. I can't teach to everyone who doesn't want to listen, but only someone who's seen how far I've been and where I'm at now. Comes with composure and everything. With record labels, we need them because I can see we are black people, we come from disadvantaged backgrounds. But then, record labels are like, they're draining because most of us are not taught the music business side of things.
Yeah.
And then
because a lot of us just have the time.
We're not aware of how many portals we can make money from. Like maybe probably 20. Even TikTok, it makes a couple of cents or 1 rand. But then we're not aware and we're not educated. So if our parents from the start, our parents, only if they were supportive from the start, and in Nkuluma ngempilo yami, if they believed in me as much as I believed in myself, I would have been far. Because they were going to be there if I was signing the deal.
Yeah.
They were not there. They said I should go to college by that time. I was in college. They came to my school. They got me from Bramfontein. And then they just pitched this huge deal that I couldn't resist.
Mm.
It's misleading and deceiving. You know, even if you can speak English or comprehend, read with comprehension, bro, like more than 10 pages of Islung is just going to confuse you.
And it can be overwhelming, yeah.
So maybe the mistake I made was not showing my lawyer. I'm not regretting everything I've done. It's just that it wasn't smart. And I could have carried on with the previous label. I could have just stayed there and worked only to find out I'm going to leave with 35% out of everything I work for. So my career and my life should be a lesson for every kid from Alex. So it's everywhere, bro. You should know, hey, know your worth. Rather be broke for 5 years, and then maybe you're gonna win. But then when you win big. It's a life-changing thing. Music is not games. Like, it's a serious career if you take it seriously.
Music is not games. It's a serious career if you take it seriously. On a lighter note, let's talk about the new stuff. You're out of that period in your life.
Yeah.
Is there new music? Can people expect new music from you?
Yep. There's a lot. I have songs I've been recording since 2018. I left the label around those times. There's too much music. What is needed is a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I won't even lie to you, because if Straat in Alexandra, yeah, we might see a celebrity passing by, but then that's not really an opportunity. You can't really pitch your stuff there. He's not there for that. So maybe if I get the keys, I'll offer that platform, because nobody's really offering like a stable platform. Okay, showcase what you can do. There's so many talented kids. I bet even better than me, dog. And me, I go hard. With the music, I study music. But I believe there are kids who are much better than me, and they're not even offered. They're not exposed. Their parents are not showing them the right thing. Yeah,
well, you're on the Purple Couch, so this is a big platform, so welcome. Where can people get a hold of you, if they want to download your music, if they want to follow you and connect with the content that you put out?
Currently, we're dropping a lot of stuff on SoundCloud. That's under Taellezi, and my producer just opened his label. I'm also opening mine.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it on a low for now until it's actually done. Yeah, which is better, because you can't talk about or start decorating things. Well, if you're an architect, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I know it's a struggle to start a label.
But you got to speak things into existence.
Yeah. No, I definitely have a label. I'm the first person who's going to sign myself there. And then lift it off the ground so I can see where and how far can I reach.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
A big thank you to Taellezi for coming through and taking over with us. We are going to play you a glimpse of his brand new smash hit titled Get It.
Let's get in my way with the eye open, I can still see straight. You playing no games around me, here with me, it ain't safe. Got some hood niggas with me, trying to get the lies straight, still got cases. Got some hood niggas with me, wanna get the lies straight, still got cases. We still got pending cases. Still can't go to different locations on probation. Telling on me, I'm tough straight to their faces. Keep it 100 with me, so go in places. Girl, believe in what you see, this inspiration. And if you see me in your dreams, don't you get me naked. If I see you in my dreams, I'll get you naked. When I lick, make it drip, get you wet in different places. Start off with the basics, we been making love faces, yeah. So I erase them, came from the streets and I gotta pay them. Gotta stay focused, can't lose, gotta make a stay. Cause ain't built like this, you ain't built for this. You don't wanna know what it is, like spit a verse in the head into tears. Get in my way, with the eye open, I can still see straight. You playing no games around me, here with me, it ain't safe. Got some hood niggas with me, tryna get the lies straight, still got cases. Got some hood niggas with me, wanna get the lies straight, still got cases. We still got pending cases. Get in my way, even when I open, I can still see straight. Don't feel no way, don't you complain, no way. I could build a fish off in Taiwan, now then I break it. And down mama smile, know that I made it. But I would 1,000 times that way. I can time from around, get safety. Need a dark skin, plus 5 model who can pay me, baby. You can sip, just sipping in juice bottle, hope it don't get you angry. Cause I'm way too friendly. Take advantage, might get crazy.
And we're back and still taking over right here on the Purple Couch, where we're celebrating Pride Month, and it's time for us to jump into a very exciting conversation. And I'm joined in studio by a DJ, a cultural curator, and a writer. They go by the name of LeloWhatsGood. What's happening, Lelo?
What's good?
Welcome to the show. Welcome
you
to the
for
Purple
having me.
Couch.
Thank you for having me,
It's nice to have you here. And, to celebrate with you and chat all things, Pride Month, the work that you do, and of course, connect with our lifers. For people who don't know who LeloWhatsGood, or who rather LeloWhatsGood is, or who they are, who would you say LeloWhatsGood is?
I would say Lelo is a multifaceted creative who dabbles in like all things that are, culturally impactful, I would say. From doing music to writing, to creating spaces, for the community, and other things that are part of that. I think that's who I am. Yeah.
And how would you say you establish yourself in being a DJ, in being, a cultural curator and a writer? How did you get started in those fields?
I think everything had a golden thread for me. It started with one thing. It didn't start all at once. So I started as a writer first and foremost. That's what people know me as.
Yeah.
As much as I don't write these days anymore, but I'm going to get back into it. It started with writing, and then naturally that would lead me into advertising. So that's why I worked as well for a couple of years. And then with advertising, I fell into DJing as well, because I started going out and meeting new people. And then with the DJing, I was like, okay, cool. Now that I know how to do this thing, I would actually like to open up my own space, a space that is for us, that is created by us, for us, and just, that just celebrates queer identities the way that I wanted to see. So, that's why I started VNJ Ball. And it's just been amazing so far, yeah.
Now, with all the work that you do, I think what I love mostly about the spaces that you've created is that it's safe spaces for queer people. Why is that important, especially in the world that we live in, where queer people are scrutinized, are bullied, and are made to feel small in the spaces that they may try to find themselves in and operate in?
Yeah, I mean, it's that exact reason. I think when I started going out, I saw spaces that didn't really cater for people within the community.
Yeah.
And even if they did, it was on a much smaller scale. And I didn't really want that. I wanted something that would, bring in people from all walks of life, from everywhere, from the north, south, east, west, from different cities, from different countries, to all come together into one space and like celebrate each other. And I think I've done a pretty good job into doing that.
Yeah.
Now, like, the vision is now finally becoming, what I envisioned when I first started it in 2018.
And it's becoming bigger, and it's touching and connecting more people.
Exactly.
And how does that make you feel, especially with when you were thinking of starting this thing and how far it's gone and how many people, love it and look forward to it every single year?
Yeah, I mean, before I never really used to like introspect into how I feel about it. It always felt like, okay, I have to do this thing, and now it's like become work. But I think recently I've started to just like take a seat back and be like, okay, cool, like this is actually really amazing, and that's all thanks to the team that I have now, that they weigh off the pressure off of me sometimes, and I can also delegate and also like sit back and enjoy and be like, okay, cool, now I can just like come in and also dress up and all that stuff. So it really, now it feels like really good.
Now that you've created this space and it's everything to everyone, and it's something that people look forward to, how important is it for one, to take time for themselves? Because we're living in an age, where life is moving so quickly, so much is happening so fast. How important is it for one to take time off and take, time for themselves? Because, we are almost social batteries, we're out there connecting with people and socializing, that it takes so much from us. But how do you take time for yourself and away from everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. We actually do need to take some time off sometimes because burnout is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize what that means or what that looks like.
Yeah.
And that could literally mean being like in depressive episodes, you don't know why, because your body's tired, or you start getting sick and stuff like that because you're just not taking care of your body and your body is just like screaming for rest. But what I do normally, I would take like 2 days off. I would tell the people that I need to that, listen, I'm not feeling okay, I'm taking some time off now, I just need to rest for a bit, and people will understand. Yeah. So that's generally what I do.
Now, you touched on music, and you've got some brand new music out that I absolutely love. I absolutely bump the track all the time. Chat to me about the song. It's quite a very saucy title.
Yes.
Chat to us about it.
So the title is called Demon's Kiss.
Yeah.
And it's co-produced with my other friends, D-Traits. Very amazing, talented kids from Durban. And yeah, it's something that just came about like earlier this year when we started wanting to like work together on some stuff, because they actually found me on Instagram. Because they knew that, okay, this is like a house-grown DJ, out and about, and they were really just like coming up as one. I really loved the stuff that they put out before. I was like, why don't we just like work on like an EP, And that's basically, so this is the first single. The EP is going to come out later, probably like end of November. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
All right, so that's next month.
Yeah, next month.
So we are already beginning to count down.
Yeah.
And how important is collaboration? Especially in the work that you do, you create parties, you create spaces, for people, and music is a very big part of those spaces. And collaboration is also another big part of that. How important is collaboration?
For me, collaboration is a very important thing.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us would be anywhere if we didn't work with someone else. You can't do things in isolation. So yeah, like go out there, find people who are like in the same synergy as you, you know that you can work together with them. And just like find the right beat and balance, and like you can just make magic together.
Now we're celebrating Pride Month with you here on the Purple Couch. Define pride. What does pride look like to you? What does pride feel like to you? What is pride to you?
I mean, that's a very tricky question, because I feel like pride can mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it just means we are, we're looking forward by looking back. It's, as much as it's a celebration, it's also like, what are the struggles that we're dealing with right now?
Yeah.
And what can we do in this present moment as a community to eradicate those, basically. That's what pride means for me. As much as it is about like going out, whatever, like that's fun.
Yeah.
But I think there's still so much more work to be done, and I don't want people to forget that. Yeah.
And I think what's really dope is that a few years from now, years and years from now, when we speak about South African pride and we journal it and we go back and look at, the history, Vogue nights will be there, and I think the work that you do is really phenomenal. It's really fantastic. Yeah. And when you continue to shine, I think so many people look up to you, and the spaces that you created are really fantastic spaces. If you've never been to Vogue nights, guys, get yourself a ticket and come through and take over. But otherwise, continue to take over the world. We absolutely love you. And yeah, keep taking over. And don't be shy to come back here on the Purple Couch, right?
I'm always here. I'm always with it.
We love across every social media platform. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is at LoveLifeNGO, hashtag the Purple Couch. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this. We're still celebrating Pride Month and, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month right here on the Purple Couch. Welcome to the show. It's time for us to get into active lifestyle, and I'm going to give you 3 tips as we head into the festive season. Tip number 1, try and incorporate exercise into your daily routine. So whether before you go to work or when you come back from work, just try and exercise 30 minutes, 1 hour. Try and put it in there. It's going to do you so much good. Tip number 2, hydrate as much as possible. What I mean by that is drink as much water as possible, but also bath, guys. It's getting very, very hot. And as we know, the South African festive season is absolutely blazing hot. Finally, tip number 3, try and save up or rather stretch your money as far as you can. You don't want to be in January WhatsApping people and texting them and asking them to send you money and e-wallets. So save, hydrate, and exercise. Those are my 3 tips as we head into the festive season. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this. And you're still tuned into the Purple Couch right here on our YouTube channel. It is Love Life NGO, and we are getting into a conversation about cancer with one phenomenal woman. She goes by the name of Mawisa Chauke. Welcome to the Purple Couch.
Thank you.
Where are you connecting to me from? And why couldn't you join me in the studio?
Hey, I'm in Nigerian.
Yeah.
I didn't come to the studio because I was at work and last year. So I unfortunately, if it was over the weekend, I would come. But during the week, I'm tied up.
Yeah. Now, you're no stranger to, Love Life, but for those who missed the interview at first, please let me know, because, I'm also new and I'm also meeting you for the first time, but let me know, your journey with cancer and how you made it through the other side.
Okay, so where to start?
Yeah.
Let me start from diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I was diagnosed in 2019, January. I was 30 by then. So before diagnosis, I just got sick. I felt this other pain on my left breast, of which I would say it was a lump of some sort, because I could feel that there's something. Then I went to doctors, hospital, then they checked up on me until I did biopsy and the results came. That was January 2019. And then they told me that I've got triple negative breast cancer, of which it was for the first time to hear the triple negative breast cancer. Yeah, so from then, we took the step of going into seeing my oncologist, which was assigned to me. Then I did the MRI scans to check if it didn't spread to the other parts of the body. I also did an up again to check on the lymph nodes if it didn't also spread on the other parts of the body. Fortunately, it was still situated where it was. Then I started with chemo. Remember, when you are diagnosed with cancer, treatment differs according to a person to a person. So it's not a one size fits all kind of a thing where you would know that after diagnosis they'll just do operation, and then after that is going to be that and that. So it differs according to a person to a person. So in my case, they had to start with chemotherapy because so it was growing bigger from that lump, because it was swelling, so it was very big. So they had to start with chemotherapy so that the breast can also shrink again.
And this is a period, and this is over a period of, how many months?
Okay, for chemotherapy, it was 6 months period. So the first 3 months, I was going for chemo every 2 weeks. And then the last 3 months, I was going there every week. So, yeah. So within that process of receiving chemo, they had to check if you do have white cells for them to give chemotherapy. Unfortunately, one scenario, it happened that I was low in white blood cells. And then they had to send me back and say, we're giving you a booster so that you come back and receive, treatment. Booster, it's one thing that you won't like in your life. It's
That was
very
actually my next question. We always are watching programs, like Grey's Anatomy or New Amsterdam, and now, here locally in South Africa, we've got Durban Jen and, all the other dramas. And, we almost see and they document different kinds of diseases that people, are challenged with in life. Um, for you, for someone who maybe has never watched a medical drama or has never had someone close to them, experience and feel and go through chemotherapy, how does that feel? Or if that is a question, or if that question makes sense, how does chemotherapy feel? And like you said, a booster is something that one person does not want to go through. How does that feel? And how were you feeling through all of that? And did you have a support system with you?
To be honest, let me be honest with you. Chemotherapy, it's not nice. It's very bad. Very, very bad. Very bad, if I were to put it like that. Because the day that I received chemo, I wouldn't be able to drive myself. I wouldn't be able to do anything for the whole week because it would make me weak. Um, yeah, it would make me drowsy, nauseous, all those that you can think of the whole week. I wouldn't be myself. So obviously, I wouldn't have made it if I didn't have the strong support system. So it's very much important for every cancer fighters to have support, because I wouldn't have made it, to be honest, if it was not of the strong support system that I had. Because when I come back from the hospital, or when I go to the hospital, they had to take me there and drive me back. And then they would take care of me every day until they feel like this week she's going to be fine. The next week, kids go back again. So it needed a very strong support system.
Wow, a big, shout out to your family, for being there and carrying you and being your strength, when you were going through such, a very tumultuous time in your life. Since then, that was 2019. We are in 2022, on the bridge of 2023. What has happened and how are you now? How is Mawisa?
Okay, let me complete the treatment journey. From chemotherapy, I did operations.
Yeah.
Breast cancer, there is lumpectomy and mastectomy. So mastectomy is where they completely remove the breast, and then lumpectomy, that is where they remove where cancer was situated. So they will operate your breast and take out the part where cancer was situated. So I did lumpectomy. So with lumpectomy, they had to also operate the other breast because the sizes were different. So in order for them to do breast reconstruction, they had to align the other breast. Fine. So after doing that, that is where they checked and told me that there's no cancer where the cancer was situated, fortunately. Then we had to move to radiation. So I did also radiation, of which people call it's a machine which bends. Yeah, so it was bending me for like 6 weeks. I was going every day for 6 weeks to receive my radiation. Then after that, I think there's nothing else that I've done besides doing checkups, of which I'm also doing even now. So I'm going to my oncologist every 3 months because I've been put on a remission for 5 years. And from the time that I spoke to, who was that, Konje, previously? The previous interviewer. So I've been fine. I've been doing perfectly fine. Um, the other news is that I've got a baby girl, a very beautiful baby girl. Yeah.
Congratulations. That was actually my next question. That was actually my next question. That are you cancer free?
So I'm cancer free, yes, and
Woo!
yeah, I'm cancer free, and I'm on remission. So
That's amazing.
that's despite chemotherapy, despite cancer, dealing with ovaries and all that. So I'm grateful that,
Hmm.
yeah, to 1 year, two, she's going to turn 1 year, three in the next few weeks. So that's it. That's all about me.
Wow. That's really a beautiful and inspiring story. And I wanna ask you that moment when your doctor told you that Mawisa, you are officially cancer free. Maybe could you describe the feeling, what was going through your mind? Who were some of the first people that you called to tell these news?
I was so excited, and that day when I went to get those results, it was my younger sister. The first person that I called was my mom, obviously, my aunt who has been there for me throughout. Um, I had to call her, I had to call my mom, I had to tell my dad. So it was an exciting news for me. When I came back home, previously I indicated that I just started playing music and danced, and like I'm I'm grateful to be alive, and I'm really grateful that this cancer is not anywhere in the other side of my body. So yeah, so that's how I felt.
That's absolutely amazing. I think with everything that's happening in the world, it's so important for us as people to always take time for ourselves. And after the journey that you went through with finding out that you do have cancer, and then going through radiation, chemotherapy, and all the treatments that you went through, and finally seeing the other side, have you taken time for yourself to maybe see a therapist to chat and unpack and kind of you know fix now your mind, because it's a lot that you went through.
Um, Obviously, I you're right. I never had time to digest everything. After diagnosis, I didn't have time to digest what's happening. I just wanted to find myself, getting all these treatments and get done with 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 cancer. But treatment as therapy as such, I don't remember, going for therapy. Um, Fortunately, I'm a therapist, so I would say I would, talk to my friends, my colleagues who are also therapists. So it was not just formal therapeutic session. It was this thing of discussing
Yeah.
what happened and also sharing my story to other people. So that itself has helped me to unpack and release whatever that I was having. So I was available to share everything to anyone that would like to, to hear my story. And I think by doing that, it has helped me a lot personally, and it also helped people because it has made a very great impact.
And now, in line with education, the one question that I like asking, and a question that I always like hearing other people ask is how do we as society, as men and women, support each other, not only support each other, but also, examine each other, even examine ourselves at home, to spot early signs, because like they say, early detection saves lives. So what would maybe be your tips to our viewers at home?
So the tips is, now I wouldn't say examine yourself, because people are examining themselves and they are not going to the health practitioners. And when it's too late, that is where they are going there. Now, I would say if you notice something suspicious in your body, go get checked, because we cannot diagnose ourselves. Even if I find something here on my can test and I find something, what next? I have to go to the doctor, right? So the best thing is go get checked, go do ultrasounds, go do mammograms. Now is breast cancer awareness month. People must go get checked, because yes, right, early detection saves lives. So people must not ignore any changes that they notices in their body. It might not be cancer, it might be something else, but we have to know what is it that we are dealing with. We have to know that what is it that is in our body, so that we get the proper treatment that we're supposed to get. Should I have ignored my signs, what would have happened to me? Because I only saw the signs within a month, and I was on stage 3. So people must get checked. They must go to doctors. Doctors are there for us. Clinics are there for us. They are doing mammograms. They are doing ultrasounds. Is if there's something, then they will let them know that this is what you are going through. So I
Yeah.
would advise go to doctors.
The one thing that we are always advocating for here at Love Life NGO and at the Purple Couch is for young people to be persistent, with our healthcare systems. I think, there's so many things that the Department of Health have put in place for
Mm,
young people to, number one, be educated, number two, go in and ask questions, and ultimately number three, be assisted.
mm,
So be persistent about your health. If you feel there's something that is not right in your body, and it's something that is persisting, go and be
mm.
persistent. Even though the doctor is telling you that there is nothing wrong with you, be persistent. And like Mawisa is saying, use our healthcare system. It is there for us to, you know use, and also just save ourselves. And Mawisa, how can people get a hold of you on the social platforms?
Oh, okay. I wanted to give you an example before we go to social platforms.
Okay,
An example about
please.
consistency. Ne?
Yes.
I okay, when I got to the hospital to get checked with the lump that I had. They did ultrasound. When they did ultrasound, the lump was very big because it was growing bigger every day. And they were like to me,
Yeah.
this is not cancer. This is fibroids, because women of your age, they tend to,
Yeah.
your fibroids when they are 30s, something like that. So I was persistent to say no. If it's
Let's keep
fibroids,
checking.
what are
Yeah.
the treatments are going to give me? What is the treatment that are going to give me, so that these fibroids will just shrink then? And they were like, no, you go home, and then if this thing doesn't go away, come back after, was it a month or 3 months, something like that. Come back after 3 months, then we'll do some thorough checks. And I was like, no, I'm not going home. Then I got persistent. I was like, okay, by the way, my mom is a breast cancer survivor. So it was like, I've had this biopsy. Can we talk about biopsy? Do biopsy on my breast. And they're like, no, we don't do biopsy just like that. I'm like, ma'am, there's history in my family. So can we do biopsy so that I know what is it that I'm dealing with? So because I was persistent, she was able to give me the biopsy, and then the results came the next week. She was like, I feel so bad because, you know, I never thought this could be cancer. So people must be able to be persistent and also to be able to stand firm and advocate for their own health.
And now imagine if you hadn't been persistent, you could have just gone home, and the cancer would have been found later on. So,
Yeah,
wow, wow. So, definitely advocate for your own health and be
yeah,
persistent. Be
true.
persistent. And finally, how can people get a hold of you on social media? If they want to maybe DM you, and chat to you, or maybe even just have you as a support structure in this new phase and chapter of their life.
Um, and I've got a Facebook page. It's Mawisa the Survivor. At Twitter, at we see Survivor. Yeah, at we see Survivor. The same thing with my Instagram at we see Survivor. So it's just the nickname Yamawisa, which is we see. So it's at we see Survivor. Facebook Mawisa the Survivor. So that's where they're going to get hold of me. I'm available for DMs. I'm available for support. I've been supporting a lot of people via my social media channels.
May
Yeah,
God continue, to bless you, Mawisa, and the work that you do. May He bless your family, and may your story, land on ears of someone who is, going through what you went through, and may they see themselves, making it through to the other side because they watched the show, and you gave them hope, and you told them that, with proper support, and you just being persistent and advocating for your health, you will see the other side.
definitely, definitely.
All right, that is, of course, Mawisa, the survivor in this month where we're celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month and, of course, Pride Month. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, more the takeover after this.
By sending us a simple please call me to 083 323 1023, we are able to call you back and chat about all that has been bothering you.
And we've come to the end of this explosive and colorful episode of The Purple Couch. A big shout out to you for tuning in. A big shout out to my guests for coming through and taking over and sharing with me some of the incredible things that they are doing in our world. To the LGBTQIA plus youth of our country, continue to color the world with your skills and all the incredible things you are doing. A big shout out to the Department of Health and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture for making it all possible. Continue to like, subscribe, and share the channel with all your friends. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is at LoveLiveNGO, hashtag The Purple Couch. I'm your host, Thabile TTO, and this has been a takeover. Until the next episode, keep taking over. Goodbye, everyone.